And highly questionable. My father's all fired up. The Denver Broncos have a coach about his age. Izzy, what do you like on the show today?
We might try to convince you that Zion Williamson isn't hyped enough.
Dale, papi.
Boy, that tablecloth, it turned into a real nice jacket.
The fall picnic collection.
Would you be more excited if your team hired Freddie Kitchens or Vic Fangio?
Oh, what a way to let that joke sit, huh? He gave you like 3 seconds of dead air television there, so you can marinate in the idea that this was made out of a tablecloth. What great names these two guys have. I mean, it's not quite Marchabroda, but Vic Fangio as a football name is tremendous. And I thought Charlie Strong looked most like his name until I got a load of Freddie Kitchens. Look at this big man rolling into town to change things. I couldn't possibly care less about either of these coaches as leaders of men, but I do think it's interesting that the Denver Broncos are going creative because Fangio, while an old guy, is saying you don't have to give me any power at all. I'm totally okay with you keeping Gary Kubiak. It's a different strategy. Seems crazy, but at least it's different.
If I were a Broncos fan, I could convince myself in getting excited about Fangio, in large part because of the way they won a Super Bowl with Peyton Manning. It was defense heavy and do just enough with the offense. And 60-year-old first-time head coach maybe doesn't get me too excited, but I could convince myself of that. The Browns, however, I'd be super excited. I mean, the way Baker Mayfield finished that season with Kitchens as the OC and really developed himself and a confidence about himself. And we'll say this, too. He clearly doesn't really love head coaches, right? He's obviously had a thing with Hugh Jackson in the past. I want to make sure that Baker Mayfield is happy with the head coach. And if he endorses Kitchens, then as a Browns fan, I'm very happy.
I smell 7 and 9 and 6 and 10.
Okay, very good. He smells it.
sniff
You can
test.
smell it from here. That's progress almost, isn't it?
Are the Cardinals too thirsty to find the next Sean McVay?
You do not get stories like this very often where a guy needs a buyout of $150,000 and the guy was let go by Tumbleweed University, ends up at USC because he himself doesn't think there's a pro job available, and then he gets this one with a young quarterback. But it makes sense not just with the evolution of the NFL. Baker Mayfield and Patrick Mahomes were groomed by this guy. The Cardinals have tied everything to a guy about their age who needs grooming. Everybody wants the quarterback whisperer who could turn Jared Goff from what he was his first year to what he was his second year. And so if this guy can do it, that's the reason the Cardinals are hiring him. They are looking over the entire landscape, and all they're trying to find is a guy who can work with Rosen.
And that hasn't changed over the years. It just so happens that now we're using Sean McVay as this person that we're saying, hey, this is the model, follow him. It's really hard to win if you're a front office executive hiring a new coach because you're either hiring a retread where people are going to say, well, we've seen that before, what's the new thing there? Or you're hiring outside of the box where people are going to say, well, that hasn't worked before, why are you going to do this now? All the reasons that Dan said, matching him up with Josh Rosen, just bringing life to that organization could help. And if it works, hey, maybe he is the next Sean McVay. If he fails, heck, for every McVay, there's a couple of Lane Kiffins out there, the young guy who failed at the job. Do we want to kill the Cardinals for failing eventually? No, I'd rather give them credit for taking this chance and seeing if it works with Josh Rosen.
And Izzy, how about what ArizonaCardinals.com did where they're sending out press releases just giving off the scent, the cologne of McVay?
Yeah, initially they said McVay and Kingsbury were friends, and then they later fixed it to say they'd spoken about a potential job with the Rams. But if I were the Cardinals, I'd be associating him with Patrick Mahomes. I saw a criticism in a newspaper yesterday that said he didn't do enough with Patrick Mahomes. Man, that team had 5,000-yard passer on it, and it's Texas Tech. That seemed like they were doing some good things with that offense. That's the guy I would marry him to, not Sean McVay.
Ring. Yeah. Hey, Fred. How you doing? Fred Hoiver.
Oh,
Fred
come
Hoiver.
on, man.
What's going on, baby? Oh, you met Sean McVay once in
One
an
time,
airport,
one
and
time.
and you took his hand. You think that'll make a good coach? All right, I let everybody know.
All right,
Okay,
all right.
you're
You
putting
met
the good
McVay.
word for him.
All
Okay,
right,
no
all right.
problem.
See you later.
That's all you need.
I don't think that works in the NBA.
Do you have faith Bruce Arians can resurrect Jameis Winston's career?
I think he's old enough that they can get him out of there with Winston in a year if this failed experiment doesn't work for a year at $20 million for Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston's chief issue is that he's reckless with the football. He's inaccurate with the football. If Arians can change either of those things, of course, that's what you want. But I remind you that he gets this job, at least in part, because a very long time ago, he took Peyton Manning from 28 interceptions to 15. And I think Peyton Manning was headed that way, whether he had Arians or not.
They brought in Arians to essentially teach Jameis Winston to stop throwing interceptions. He threw 58 since 2015. That's the second most in that span. But the Bucs' problem goes deeper than that. They don't run the ball very well. They had the lowest average per attempt for the last 2 seasons, and they just throw the ball a ton, even though they don't have a bunch of confidence in those quarterbacks. So Arians has to come in here and fix Winston and fix that entire offense. But to Dan's point about Peyton Manning, he was also associated with Ben Roethlisberger, also associated with Andrew Luck. Those guys were probably going to be great anyway. Let's talk about his association with Tim Couch.
So this guy coached in Arizona, eh?
That's right.
And now Florida.
That's right.
Well, he must love old people.
Yeah,
and
old
early
people
dinners,
and sunshine.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, we got
That's
plenty.
right.
Got plenty.
That's right.
Will Bond.
Are we overhyping or underhyping Zion Williamson?
I mean, he's a circus freak, and he's going to grow. His game is going to grow. He's going to physically grow. And last night, they torch Wake Forest in a road game that's supposed to be at least a little bit difficult, and he goes 30, 10, and 5, and doesn't do it just dunking. Even as he's going 13 for 16, he's doing a little bit of everything. You can't talk about this guy enough. He's the biggest amateur college basketball star we have right now, because not only is he the circus freak novelty, but he's also excellent and going to get better.
I say we are perfectly hyping him just for that reason Dan mentioned, his ability to get better. This is what we get when we get these college prospects. We're looking at them raw. We're looking at them as they are developing their skills. When they get to the NBA, it's a matter of how much they want to develop that. LeBron James could have been some version of Josh Smith his entire career, made hundreds of millions of dollars, and never really become this guy. He wanted to be LeBron James. So if Zion Williamson gets in the league and said he's already saying I'm more than a dunker and gets in the league on works on all those things, as long as he stays healthy, he's going to be as great as he wants to be, because that guy, as Dan said a couple of times, is an athletic freak.
You know, this guy is so good that he shouldn't play any more games.
Just sit right now.
No, yeah, I mean, you don't want this guy getting hurt. He doesn't want to get hurt, you know. He should go to Coach K and tell him, I don't play for you anymore unless you double my pay.
I mean,
That's the way to do it. That's the way to bargain.
I
with
mean,
Coach K, you know what I mean?
and
I
I
go hang out with Trevor Lawrence the whole time, spending all this money, be in the league next
You
year.
know what? We're not even going to have him apologize. It's going to be a lot more than double the pay.
Has the NFL now convinced you that Eric Reed was not targeted for testing?
It was not the NFL that convinced me. It was the NFLPA co-signing what the NFL sent out today, saying in a joint statement. And keep in mind, the NFLPA lives to serve the employee. This is the agent for the client protecting his rights, and it's signing up on the NFL side of the ledger with a joint statement that basically buries Eric Reed's facts as they talk about, and we can't say anything else because of drug confidentiality. The NFLPA must know that Eric Reed's information is wrong in some way to co-sign this way publicly with an adversary. NFL and the NFLPA have had an adversarial relationship, and the NFLPA just signed against its client.
Yeah, but when you're Eric Reed, when you're a successful NFL player and you're sticking your neck out for the sake of social reform, you don't have to do all that. You could just be a guy who celebrates your life and takes advantage of all the benefits that comes with being a professional athlete. You are sticking your neck out for that. And with all that backlash, when all you're trying to do is good things, like that's going to create some paranoia in you. That's going to create some anxiety in you. And you saw what happened to Colin Kaepernick. He hasn't worked in forever because he's trying to do the same things Eric Reed is trying to do. So if he feels a little paranoid and thinks, hey, the league is targeting me, and says as much, and the league comes back and says, hey, we're not, well, I don't know what to side with there. I don't know whether to say Eric Reed is lying or overreacting or this hyperbolic stuff just to make the NFL look bad, or the NFL just putting out facts and saying, hey, Eric, I'm sorry, you're wrong. But there are conspiracy theories about billion-dollar organizations everywhere, and Eric Reed believes this to be true. Well, hey, it could very well be true.
You can understand how he would arrive at that conclusion even if it were not true, because both of these things can be true. You can have a persecution complex, and you can also be someone who's been persecuted. Those things are not opposites. They can coexist.
Well, this is a good time for me to remind everybody that I sell my urine, you know. It's clean.
Yes, he
it's
sells
not
the urine.
contaminated, you know.
It's
Maybe
totally clean.
you get some Metamucil in there once in a
Okay,
while,
every once in a
because, you
while.
know, I got a constipation problem. But
Okay,
other
I
than
think
that,
we
you
should
know.
go to the next question.
Yeah,
Here
yeah.
I thought he'd have nothing to say.
It's a serious social commentary question.
Coming up next on Highly Questionable.
This, I don't know what happened here. What happened? Is he just so used to faking it that He's pretending like he's looking for a foul call, but it doesn't look like anybody hit him.
You question what the end game was.
What the end game was. My father's repeating the question to help us out here. Thank you, Puppy. What is the end game here? Oh, no. That's it? Oh, it's going to explode?
My son's TV show is brought to you by Miralax. It works with the water in your body to unblock your system naturally.
Manager.
Time to play the game that needs some place to hide for a few days. Do you question?
Is it because of all this new coaching talk? You give us topics and events, we question them.
Do you question whether Clay deserves a foul call?
You look like Mountain Dew. He goes for 43 last night, okay? And an amazing stat that we've got, 4 dribbles. But that's not what we're going to talk about right now. 4 dribbles on 43 points. But let's check out this. I don't know what happened here. What happened? Is he just so used to faking it that he's pretending like he's looking for a foul call, but it doesn't look like anybody hit him. And it's very confusing because that appears to be simple clumsiness. Oh, no, I'm a real idiot.
Ref blew that call.
Now we get to turn it around. How did you not see that, ref, you idiot? It was obvious the whole time.
I didn't say a word.
Do you question if this is good hustle?
Oh, my father was hurting last night. He thought the Miami Heat were going to win because Denver was in Houston the night before. They get in at 5 a.m. Nope. At the end of the game, Denver is beating his beloved Miami Heat. And watch the right-hand corner here.
That's not Dwayne Wade.
That is not Dwayne Wade.
Has 17.
Although he's wearing the jersey. Look, this has been planned out well. This is amazing. There's great security there. He's in the jersey and everything. People have to do a double take. Oh, look at that. I got the ball. I don't condone it or endorse it, but that was well done.
I also don't know that it wasn't Dwayne Wade. He's aged a bit.
Well, that guy's in better shape than Dion Waiters. You know, look at his ankles. Those ankles that were going
Moves better,
down.
moves
That's
better,
right,
by the way,
right leg,
with jeans
Cut it to
on.
the right, cut it
Dion
to
had
the
a good
left.
game last night. Easy on Dion.
I look like a Mountain Dew. You look like a mountain. Do you question if this bicycle rider will be forgiven?
That would have been such a good joke if it had been delivered just a little bit better, but we're going to keep it in because it makes fun of me, and that's the secret sauce of the show. Let's check in with a bicycle rider.
Whoa.
Oh, no!
Jesus, take the wheel.
Christ.
A man, a firecracker, and a grill. Do you question what the end game was here?
You may have heard my father just said that this story, man, firecracker, and grill. I wish it was the name of this show. Let's check in with a man, a firecracker, and a grill.
Do you question what the end game was?
What the end game was. My father's repeating the question to help us out here. Thank you, Puppy. What is the end game here? Oh, no. That's it? Oh, it's going to explode. There's going to be an explosion. Yeah, there it is. There's the end game. A man, a firecracker, and a grill. And the answer to your question is, he's a man. We like to blow things up.
Firecracker shrimp. Don't think that.
There's more?
Oh, no. That was not a firecracker.
Oh!
Well, that's not the worst place where you can put a firecracker
Ain't
in.
that the truth?
That's
Let's
right.
check in with
Let's
where this
check
guy
out.
puts
See,
it.
see,
Yeah,
like, there
this
you
guy
go.
right
All
here.
right, you're talking about.
And that is the very worst place that you can put a firecracker. There it is.
Bang!
Bang! And you may have noticed, if it wasn't covered by the emblem in any way, that is fire
Bang!
flying through the shorts. Fire flying through the shorts, leaving scorch marks.
What was the end game there?
A much better question, by the way. Much better.
South Beach, Miami. Time to play the game that has an alluring gaze. See, Oh, no.
An alluring gaze, or just a problem with his eyes that makes them really red and old?
That one.
Tonight on ESPN, Bucks and Rockets.
Oh, the Bucks. My father likes the halftime shows. He likes the entertainment. At basketball games, what's your favorite? The Heat games. What do you like? What do they call
I
it?
like everything.
But
The what? I like everything. You know, the Heat games, I like everything. You know, when they go around.
The golden oldies is what I was
Golden
looking for
oldies.
there.
Okay, that's
Regardless,
cool.
at halftime, you've got the Bucks game, and what happened?
I always ask, how do you practice this? When do you pick up this skill?
There's more? Oh, oh, wait a minute.
Double ladder
Bonus.
action.
We got a double ladder situation.
Oh. On top of a ladder, balancing a ladder on his chin. If somebody else climbs on the ladder on his chin, I'm going to quit.
This is a great moment for fat people. Wow.
Izzy, are you intrigued? A historic moment for the fat. Izzy, are you intrigued?
This is Giannis versus James Harden, and we're showing
That's how we cover it. That's correct. Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very, very intrigued, but that is not my favorite halftime show. You want to see my favorite halftime show? Here we are. That's my favorite halftime show. There we go. That's the guy. All
there
right.
it is. This
Ooh,
guy.
look at
Yes,
that.
that's
that
nice.
guy means
Fits
business. Look at
himself
that.
through a tennis racket
Alright.
and into a
Look at
chest.
And honestly, we can say this, right? Let's see Fat Ladder Guy do that. You think he can do any of that?
I don't wanna see either
No,
of them
he
do
can't
that.
do any of that. Look at, why would he want to do that? Yeah!
That's my guy.
That's not what those are for.
In Venezuela, the Venezuelan Winter League playoffs.
Look, my father, you might have noticed a sly twitch. He's betting on these games. We check in with a Twins minor league catcher. What did he do in the Venezuelan Winter League? Oh, there it is. He's gonna, that's great. How far did he hit that? Yeah, Orestes Destrada used to do that in Japan. He would, start a lawnmower from right out there. Yeah.
In the U.S., you got to be careful kneeling. You'll get in trouble for that.
Izzy, are you intrigued?
I am. I'm very much intrigued. I don't know if I'm going to be able to watch this, but one day I would love to see a 30 for 30 on these winter leagues, because there's got to be a ton of stories in those.
He has a nickname. It's Baby Bartolo. Poppy, are you intrigued in
Oh,
Baby Bartolo?
see, I'm very intrigued. At least that ball was fair.
Yes.
There.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Sometimes it's not fair.
No. Sometimes you just got to get rid of the bat, man. It doesn't
That's
really
right.
matter if it's foul or fair.
It's, I don't know.
Great
how much-
contact. Just the rules don't allow that to
I'm
count
just not
as
sure
fair.
how much further that could have possibly been from being fair.
Why not be celebrated for a really long foul ball?
Another great moment for fat guys.
Yes,
Right.
that's right. This show is
That's right.
biased in favor of fat guys.
Not great, though.
In parts unknown, this security camera's footage.
I mean, you had me at on parts unknown. What do we have here? Security cam footage.
Oh!
Oh.
Oh, not again. Get out of the way, man.
Okay.
He's fine, buddy. That guy is built like a steel, you know.
Oh.
He
that
literally
got squashed.
disappeared
Come back
into
for
the
a
side of
second.
his car.
He's
Put your
blink.
hands out. Protect yourself. Do something, man.
I thought that guy was going to be a decal on the side of that van.
Instead, he's Gumby.
How about you, Izzy? Are you intrigued?
What are we supposed to look at? More security footage down the road? Like,
That's
this
a bad
just kind of
question.
comes. Like,
That's a
yes,
bad
I'm
question.
intrigued. Just
And-
send some
and
more.
Why are you letting them see behind the curtain? All we wanted to do was show you secret footage that would make you
Right,
laugh
well,
that
let
had
me hold
nothing to
this
do
sign
with
up there.
sports. It doesn't have anything to do with whether we're going to watch it later or not. Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. You want to see more security shots?
Yes.
There you have it.
Literally what I'm asking for.
Yeah.
All right.
Whoa!
Whoa! There
Look
we go.
out.
Whoa.
That seems very unpleasant. Very.
Because he's getting up does not mean
He's
he's
fine.
okay.
The
He's
guy's
fine.
He
Shut
got
up,
in one
Izzy.
piece.
He's totally
That's right.
fine. Just shut up, Izzy.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching.
We will talk to you again tomorrow. Check out the radio show on all your podcast gizmos.
You're engaged, right?
That's correct.
Oh, another great moment for Fat Guy.
Congrats, Dan.